Modern lenses are incredible. They're razor sharp, they're fast, they've been perfectly calibrated for aberration, and there's hardly any vignetting. Really, you could say they're optically flawless. But here's the thing, I don't always want perfect and flawless. In fact, more and more, I'm choosing older lenses and vintage reproductions over modern optics. Allow me to explain why. The amount of lenses that are being made today that are optically incredible and very affordable is really amazing. Technology is at the point where any lens company can make a near perfect lens in terms of image quality. In the past, we had Japanese and German lens manufacturers making the best lenses, and we had to pay a lot of money for them, and we still do. Now, there are many new manufacturers in China making lenses, and quite honestly, they're as good as the Japanese and German ones at a fraction of the price. A brand I've been impressed with is Viltrox, and I have a few of their offerings. The edge-to-edge sharpness and lack of aberration and flaring is really impressive. But there's a problem, for me at least. The narrative out there is all about the pursuit of the perfect image, the sharpest image, and this is coming from YouTubers, influencers, and the manufacturers themselves. And this is wrong, this is the wrong message. Photography is not about creating the most technically perfect image. Just because an image is sharp, it doesn't mean it's any good. It just means it's sharp. You judge a good image based on what it communicates, the story that it tells, and how it makes you feel. Many modern lenses can give such clean, clinically sterile results that this can actually dilute emotion and feeling. That's not good. Now, if the intent is to photograph a product like a car, then of course you want something perfect, sharp, clean, crisp. But I don't want to photograph products. I want to tell stories. I want to make images that make people feel something. Modern lenses show us everything, every detail, but they don't always help us say something. I've been finding modern lenses so sterile and lifeless. For the past few years, on all of my modern lenses, I've actually been using diffusion filters to try and give them a more organic look, to take away that digital edge. And that's sort of ridiculous, buying these big expensive lenses to do that. So the best solution I've arrived at is to buy older lenses, and modern lenses that are reproduction vintage lenses. And this isn't about nostalgia, it's about how lenses make us feel when we use them. More importantly, is their imperfections can create character, which enhances the emotive qualities of our photos. Older lenses and modern reproductions inspired by them are optically imperfect in so many ways. They flare, they vignette, they're softer, wide open, and they have lower contrast. And that's exactly why I love them. Those imperfections add atmosphere, they create mood. Instead of describing a scene perfectly, they suggest it. That suggestion is where emotion lives. I've been picking up these old Nikon lenses now whenever they come up on Marketplace at a good price. They're from the 70s and 80s and can be found for as little as $40 or $50 each. I also have a Leica 50mm f2 from 1956. This one is astonishingly good. I also found this lens from a local camera store for $50, made in Russia in the 1970s. It's an exact copy of a Zeiss Sonar lens from the 1930s. The Russians took the tooling and all the plans from the Zeiss factory after the Second World War, because the factory happened to be in East Germany, and they just basically ripped off Zeiss for a number of years. This is a really good lens. It's tiny, it's full of imperfections. It's one of my favorites. I have this replica lens which I featured in a previous video from China. It's a copy of a Leica 35mm f1.4 from the 1960s. It's a huge amount of fun to use and gives wonderfully imperfect results, beautiful results. I thought for fun I'd take some of these lenses and compare them with this latest 50mm f1.8 from Nikon. It's a native Z mount. I'm comparing it to this E-series Nikon 50mm f1.8 from around 1982, this Leica 50mm f2 from 1956, the Jupiter 8 we've already talked about, the 50mm f2 from the early 1970s based on a 1930s design, and last of all this Leica replica from Artis Labs. Now it's only a 35mm, so I'm going to crop the image on this one, and the camera for this test is going to be the latest Nikon Z6 III. Which one of those stood out for you, or maybe you thought they all looked the same? Let me know in the comments. So these vintage lenses are smaller, lighter, less intimidating for things like travel and street photography. And maybe more importantly, certainly for me, somebody who travels and smashes gear around a bit sometimes, they're very durable. They're a lot more durable than these modern plasticky focus by wire lenses. Actually, this one isn't. I don't think this one's plastic. Most of them are, and they're very, very fragile. Not these though. You can knock those around. I've found that if you embrace the imperfections of old lenses like this, you stop obsessing about settings and sharpness, and instead you start paying attention to light, timing, and feeling. And the more important things, the things that make a really good photo. So the way I see modern lenses is, well, I look at them as tools, whereas I look at these old vintage lenses as voices. It's quite poetic. Remember that. Now, there is no right or wrong, perfect, imperfect, character, no character. It really doesn't matter. It depends on what you want to use the lenses for. Certainly, I have a whole set of very, very sharp, latest clinical lenses I use for commercial work. I do food photography. I do shoot product from time to time, and you want to deliver perfect, sharp images to a client. But most of my photography these days, I do it for me. They're personal projects, and I want to do storytelling and create art with feeling. If you're struggling with your photography, maybe you feel there's something lacking, an emotional void, despite being technically perfect, well, chances are it's not you. It's not your creative vision that needs replacing. Maybe it's your lens. Thanks for watching.